First up, we're going to be talking about Fright Night, the amazing 1985 campy vampire classic written and directed by Tom Holland, starring Chris Sarandon, Roddy McDowall, Amanda Beers, Stephen Jeffries. The cast is amazing. Y'all know it. Y'all love it. It's one of our favorite vampire movies, one of my favorite vampire movies of all time, reminiscent of Hitchcock's Rear Window and just a mishmash of kind of like old school type horror mixed with 80s camp vibe. Fright Night just had a little bit of everything. Of course, it was smack dab in the middle of the 80s, so of course it had just that campy 80s, super 80s feel, and Tom Holland's sensibilities growing up on Hammer films and the old Christopher Lee vampire films. It had kind of a throwback classic vibe to it as well, especially with Chris Sarandon's character, the way he portrayed his character, his sweaters. I like to think maybe I got a little bit of my sweater game from Chris Sarandon in Fright Night. The movie was released in 1985 and was a pretty modest hit at the time. Of course, it's grown on to be a massive cult classic to all of us horror fans. It's a beloved film. Now, Fright Night, of course, being successful, the studios wanted to get a sequel out as quick as possible. Tom Holland was busy working on Child's Play, so Tommy Lee Wallace was brought in to direct the second installment of Fright Night. If you didn't know, Tommy Lee Wallace directed Halloween 3 as well as a handful of other movies. Also, he was an uncredited stand-in for Nick Castle as Michael Myers in the original Halloween movie, which is pretty cool. I didn't know that actually until doing research for this video. So Fright Night 2, which I am actually a fan of, didn't do as well as the first one. Due to rights issues, he wasn't able to just write a script for the movie and get it off the ground and direct it. It's been held up in some different kind of rights issues. So right now the sequel exists in novel form. Apparently now he's about 30,000 words into a novelization sequel of Fright Night 2 called Fright Night 2: The Resurrection. Tom Holland goes on to say, quote, "I'm writing a sequel to Fright Night right now. I'm calling it Fright Night 2: Resurrection. Well, it's the only way to protect myself. If you want to see something done right, do it yourself. Of course, Charlie's back, and so is Evil Ed. I'm bringing back everybody I can. I'm calling it Resurrection because we've got to resurrect Billy Cole and Jerry Dandridge, and now I'll doing my own thing. I'm writing Fright Night 2: Resurrection, and I'm writing it as a novel right now," Holland said. And in the process, he's bringing back the other characters that the original film sequel forgot about. And yes, that means the vampires Jerry Dandridge and Evil Ed will be back too. The demand just kept growing and growing, Holland continued. I have a feeling that Charlie Brewster, who's older, but not that much older, maybe 10 years, comes back to Rancho Corvallis, where his mother Judy passes away unexpectedly, and he finds that new people have moved into the house next door. Supposedly, within the upcoming year, Tom Holland is supposed to regain the rights to Fright Night again, so hopefully that means that there will be a sequel. It sounds like he'll kind of be doing what seems to be quite popular right now, which is going back to the original film, skipping the subsequent sequels, and just going right into a direct sequel to the original film. It seems that that's kind of the direction that he wants to go in, kind of ignoring Fright Night 2, doing his own sequel, so I really hope this pans out. That's the update we have on Fright Night 2. Now on to our second story, Gremlins 3. The classic 1984 horror comedy directed by Joe Dante.
I love movies. Gosh, I love movies. I love watching them, and I love making them.